referring to is a river.
All right, everybody ready? Everybody here? Everybody happy?
No.
All right, guys, don't forget, close to the mic. Give it some oomph when you're answering your questions.
I'm dying
talking,
on
and
the
so on
inside.
and so forth. And we'll go from there. All right. I think we're about ready to go. Okay, Mike? Yep. Here we go. Welcome to Academic Challenge. My name is Jim Gifford, your host and moderator, and today we're featuring teams from Lakeshore and Bridgman. WSJM's Academic Challenge features scholastic competition involving high schools from Berrien and Van Buren counties and is sponsored by Waterville Elite Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, Lakeshore Public Schools, and by Chemical Bank. First, let's meet the teams, players, captains, and coaches, and we'll start with Bridgman. Step up to the mic and identify yourselves, please.
My name is Warren Craig, and I'm a senior. I'm also a captain.
My name's Alexandria Anderson, and I'm a senior.
Israel Ashby, junior.
Matt Montgomery, Jr.
And Warren, your coach.
Our coach is Mr. Nicka.
All right, then. And from Lakeshore.
I'm Anna Haynes, and I'm a senior.
Connor Ashley, senior.
Alec Brown, senior.
Zane Knuth, junior.
Anna, are you the captain?
Yep.
And your coach?
Miss Christine Sloan.
Ta-da. We had Israel? No. Yes. Yes? Okay. Make sure I had everybody right here.
Your name tag is blank in front of us there. So.
Well, they swapped out there. That's
okay.
what it was. Okay, we got you.
She's good.
We're good to go. All right, here are the basic rules. First and second halves, we announce the value of each question before it's asked. You'll have 10 seconds to answer, 15 if it's a math question. When you press your button, please wait to be recognized. There is no consultation except during the 60-second round. More on that later. I'll be scorekeeping and judging, and Mike Arney here from the newsroom will be asking the questions. And if everybody's ready, here we go. All right, Mike?
We start off for 5 points. In 1964, who replaced Ben Franklin on the U.S. half dollar?
Matt Bridgman?
John F. Kennedy.
Yes, sir. For 10 points, what adjective indicates a river wide and deep enough to allow the passage of ships? Looking for a 9-letter word starting with N.
Matt Bridgman?
Navigationable.
No.
Lakeshore?
Navigable.
Yes.
Yeah.
For 5 points, on Easter Sunday, 1513, an aged Spanish explorer discovered a lovely land that he called Florida. Who was this explorer? What was he looking for?
Warren Bridgman?
Vacas?
No, sir.
Oh.
Lakeshore? Alec?
Was it Ponce de Leon looking for the Fountain of Youth?
Yes, sir.
For 5?
For 5. Also for 5 points, how do you spell resurrection?
Warren Bridgman?
We're going to say RESURRECTION.
I wouldn't want to go up against this guy in a spelling bee. That's correct for 5 points. For 10 points, identify the following sentence as a simple, compound, complex, or compound-complex. Either you clean up your room or you don't get to come home with, either you clean up your room or you don't get to come with us to the movie.
Zane, Lakeshore?
Compound.
Yes, that is correct for 10. For 10 points, at this institution of higher learning may be seen the crypt of John Paul Jones, as well as stained glass memorials to David Farragut, David D. Porter, and William T. Sampson. Name it.
Matt Bridgman?
University of Annapolis.
Can't give that one to you.
Lakeshore? Connor?
University of Maryland.
No, sir. It is the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis.
At Annapolis.
Good try.
Okay. Our first math question for 10 points. I'll repeat this one after we give it the first time. Sally goes on a shopping expedition for some new clothes. She buys a coat, a skirt, and a scarf. The coat costs twice as much as the skirt and 10 times as much as the scarf. She starts out with $180 and comes back with $20. What was the cost of each item? And again, Sally goes on a shopping spree for some new clothes. She buys a coat, a skirt, and a scarf. The coat is twice as much as the skirt and 10 times as expensive as the scarf. She starts with $180, comes back with $20. What was the cost of each item?
Time.
$100, $50, and $10.
How many of you were just doodling during that? Thank you for your honesty.
Excuse me, for 5 points. In sports, it is an aimed throw or toss. It is a photograph. In business, it means totally ruined. Physically, it is synonymous with complete exhaustion. It is the discharge of a weapon or pellet to be discharged. It is a guess. What is the word?
Anna, Lakeshore.
Shot.
Yes. It's for 5 points. For 5 points, how do you spell agnosticism?
Warren, Bridgman.
AGNOSTICISM.
Yes, sir. That is correct for 5. For 15 points, what Greek word connects Ronald Reagan, Illinois, and the state of California? You repeat that. What Greek word connects Ronald Reagan, Illinois, and the state of California?
Let's give him a little more time on that. Anybody? Bueller. Matt, Bridgman.
Democracy?
No, sir.
Lakeshore, you got a shot at it since he tried. Anybody? Now we're done.
The answer is Eureka, as Reagan graduated from Eureka College, and Eureka is the motto of California.
Oh my God.
All right. For 15 points, we've got a math question. A family saved money in sequence, in arithmetic sequence. They saved $600 the first year, $700 the second, and so on for 20 years. How much did they save in all, disregarding interest? A family saved money in an arithmetic sequence. They saved $600 the first year, $700 the second, and so on for 20 years. How much did they save in all?
Warren, Bridgman.
$16,000.
Incorrect.
Lakeshore. Zane.
2,500.
No, sir. 31,000. All right. For 20 points, a justice of the U.S. Supreme Court resigned to become a candidate for the presidency of the United States and later became Secretary of State. Who was he?
Warren, Bridgman.
John Marshall.
Incorrect.
Lakeshore. Time.
Charles Evans Hughes. For 5 points, the motto of Smokey the Bear is only you can prevent forest fires. In point of fact, however, how are most forest fires started?
Matt, Bridgman.
Lightning.
Correct, for 5. For 15, what is the name of the 2 large lymphatic structures located on the sides of the back of the mouth?
Matt, Bridgman.
Salivary glands.
Nope.
Zane, Lakeshore.
Tonsils.
Correct. For 20 points, what pitcher is credited with striking out the famed American League Murderers Row during the 1934 All-Star Game?
Time.
Carl Hubble. Okay, we've got a math question. 15 points. Write down the number of degrees in a right angle. Subtract the number of states that were in the Union on the 150th anniversary of U.S. independence. Finally, multiply by the number of lines in a sonnet. What's the product?
Warren, Bridgman.
208.
No, sir.
Lakeshore. Alec.
560.
So close. 588. 90 for the, obviously for the angles. 48 for the number of U.S. states, and 14 for the number of lines in a sonnet. For 15 points, Monet was famous for his water lilies. What painter was famous for his sunflowers?
Zane, Lakeshore.
Vincent van Gogh.
Correct. That is correct for 15. For 15. For 15, who was the husband of Helen when she was abducted by Paris and carried off to Troy?
Anna, Lakeshore.
Agamemnon.
Incorrect.
Bridgman, 5 seconds. Matt,
Ulysses.
No, sir. Menelaus, if I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly. For 20 points, the first deaf person to have a leading role on Broadway, Phyllis Fraley, won a Tony as Best Actress in what play?
Warren, Bridgman.
Cats.
No.
Lakeshore. That's time.
Children of a Lesser God.
Close.
I was going to say Helen Keller, but.
Believe it was in the 80s. For 5 points, the ancient Arabic order of nobles of the mystic shrine, North and South America, World Jurisdiction Incorporated, is the proper and resplendent name of the organization whose members are called what?
Warren, Bridgman.
Masons.
No, sir.
Lakeshore. 5 seconds. Anna.
Templars.
Nope. That would be Shriners. Very close.
This will be the final question of the first half.
For 15 points, what 1952 vice presidential candidate said what we need in Washington is a president who, instead of covering up, cleans up?
Matt, Bridgman.
Nixon.
Correct. For 15.
Nicely done. That'll wrap up the first half of today's academic challenge. We'll be back with the score in the 60-second round after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest. All right. All right. Knock yourself out.
You know how I remember the Nixon thing? I have a book about President Nixon. There's a bucket in the book.
What?
It's like Nixon, right? I remember looking.
I only know Doctor Who. Van Gogh. I only learned that Doctor Who.
We just covered that in AP Lit.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm like, oh, and something it was you. Like,
It's all right. We got it. No problem.
Actually, right now, I did know the shrine. In my mind, I was like,
Who is it? Who is it? Who was it?
just gotta,
In the Greek mythology. Oh, darn. I was like, which king was it? No, Ithaca was still. It's still Greek mythology. Yes. But king. Gosh dang it. Wait, did he say it was Menos?
it's
Menelaus
or something.
Menelaus, okay.
I had his brother.
the important
That's what I would
I know.
say.
Like,
I would have guessed that because that's the only name that I got out of that
Greek
story.
mythology should be a class they teach you.
okay.
Even
You
if
guys
it's
should
just
like,
a
scoot
semester,
in
it
and
should
just
be-
yell the answers. No, I don't think so. They've had more high points questions.
All right, peoples. Let's come back and get into the 60-second round. Here we go. At the end of the first half, the score, Lakeshore 60, Bridgman 35. And we move on to the 60-second round. Teams, you have 3 categories to choose from. We'll give you 60 seconds to answer as many of the 10 questions as you can. Each is worth 10 points. There's a 20-point bonus if you answer all 10 within the time limit. You are encouraged to consult with one another at this point. The answers must come from the team captain. You may and should pass on a given question if you don't have any idea, so you don't eat up all your time. After the minute's up, the opposing team will have a chance to answer any questions the first team could not. Bridgman, you're trailing at the moment. You have first choice. Here are your categories: 20th century war, city nicknames, state trees. 20th century war, city nicknames, state trees. What's it going to be?
Okay, let's do it. We're gonna do city nicknames.
They're going to do city nicknames. Excuse me, now I'm getting all choked up. What's going on in here tonight? All right, 60 seconds on the clock.
Right.
Do we need an idea?
Little bit of setup here with this
Okay.
one. Name the city identified with each nickname and include the state.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock when Mike starts reading. And Bridgman, it's to you.
Film capital of the world.
Hollywood, California.
Yes. Mile High City.
Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado.
Yes. Windy City.
Chicago.
Steel City.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes. Pittsburgh of the South.
Auburn.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Incorrect. Gateway to the West.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Correct. Chocolate capital of the world.
Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Correct. Bison City.
Helena, Montana.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Gulf City.
Mobile, Alabama.
Correct. Biggest little city in the world.
Biggest. Pass.
Is that it?
That's it.
That was good.
We got 7.
A 7 out of 10 for 70 points for Bridgman. And we'll put 60 seconds back on the clock and let Lakeshore take a shot at the ones that were missed. And questions or answers have to come from Anna and Mike whenever you're ready. Lakeshore, it's to you. Here we go. 60 seconds on the clock.
All right. First one, Pittsburgh of the South.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Incorrect. Bison City.
Reno, Nevada.
Incorrect. And the biggest little city in the world.
Reno, Nevada.
That one is correct.
All right, one correct for Lakeshore for a total of 10 points. Mike, what were the ones they missed?
Pittsburgh of the South is Birmingham, Alabama. And Bison City is Buffalo, New York.
See. And the light goes on. All right. Now, Lakeshore, it's your turn to choose from the remaining 2 categories, and they are 20th century warfare and state trees. What's it going to be, Lakeshore?
Okay. 20th century warfare.
20th century warfare. Any setup needed on this one, Mike?
No, sir. No setup on this one.
All right, 60 seconds when Mike starts the questions.
What area was known as the powder keg of Europe before World War I?
The Balkans.
Yes. Vidkun Quisling, who gave traitors a new name, came from what country?
Pass.
What country declared war on both Germany and the Allies in World War II?
Russia.
Incorrect. How long were Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun married? 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year?
1 month.
Incorrect. What U.S. general died December 10th, 1945, when his Jeep collided with a truck?
George S. Patton.
Correct. In 1955, the Soviet satellites signed what military alliance?
The Warsaw Pact.
Correct. What Egyptian president seized the Suez Canal in 1956?
Hosni Mubarak.
Nope. In what year did
Go ahead.
In what year did Mussolini resign as premier of Italy and Italy join the Allies?
1944.
Incorrect.
3 correct for Lakeshore on that particular category for 30 more points. And we'll turn it over to Bridgman now to see how they can do with the 20th century war. 60 seconds back on the clock. Answers from Captain Warren and Mike whenever you're ready.
Vidkun Quisling, who gave traitors a new name, came from what country?
Austria.
Incorrect. What country declared war on both Germany and the Allies in World War II?
Italy.
Correct. How long were Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun married? A day, a week, a month, or a year?
1 day.
Correct. What Egyptian president seized the Suez Canal in 1956?
Pass.
In what year did Mussolini resign as premier of Italy and Italy join the Allies?
1943.
Correct. In 1952, it became the 3rd country to test an atomic bomb. Can you name it?
Britain.
Correct. Who led Israeli forces to victory in the 1967 Six-Day War?
Who? Pass.
Pass? All right. That wraps up the questions.
That's it?
That's it.
4 correct for Bridgman for a total of 40 points. And Mike, you want to give him the answers that everybody missed?
The traitor came from Norway. The Egyptian president who seized the Suez Canal was Nasser. And the Israeli forces were led to victory in 67 by Dayan. D-A-Y-A-N.
Moshe Dayan.
Moshe Dayan.
That ends the 60-second round, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
All right, thank you. We'll check the scores and conclude the game of the second half next here on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest. I lost track of where we were.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happens when it's moving quickly.
If everyone
Gandhi, it was a German Shepherd.
I think we should
how
have
many,
state trees.
and each person just is like
Such a great.
they're specialists. They're specialists in the New England.
Any subs, Bridgman? Or are we going with this lineup? What are we doing?
Did we just go over state trees? Have you ran the whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, if it was a matching thing, I think it was
So we got Elliot coming on for Alexandria. Is that right? What I'm seeing here?
Away.
done all right.
Remember, the solution
Elliot.
to pollution is dilution.
Filterization of bad chemistry.
Yes.
I had like all the ones that we thought too. I was saying.
I like writing down the answers as.
Yeah.
All right. Warren, Elliot, Israel, Matt. We're good to go.
He likes people pooping on him.
All right.
He was true.
All right, people, coming back. You got your little spiels on what's going on at your schools. We'll do the subs and then finish up. And here we go. The score at the end of the 62nd round, Bridgman 145, Lakeshore 100. And it is time now to find out what's happening at each of our participating schools. And first from Lakeshore, Captain Anna.
All right, hello from Lakeshore High School. As always, we're still under construction, and it's getting pretty cold in the school building. Our academic luncheon is coming up this Thursday, and we would just like to honor all of our hardworking honor students. White Christmas was a huge success this past weekend. It was really awesome to see, and thank you to all who came to that. Both our boys and girls basketball teams won against St. Joe on last Friday, so congratulations to them. And the boys play Battle Creek tonight, so good luck.
Thank you, Anna. And from Bridgman, Captain Warren.
Last night we had a Holiday Choir concert, and we had our first ever Quiz Bowl spaghetti supper, which I think was delicious, by the way. We're also having a boys suite on the 18th, and girls basketball game on Thursday, a boys basketball game on Friday, and we also have a boys basketball game tonight. Go Bees.
Thank you, Warren, Academic Challenge Captain and Food Critic. Nicely done. Substitutions from Bridgman. Who have we got here?
Elliot Hankey, and I'm a junior.
All right, Elliot, you're the only one that came in. All right, we're good to go then. Let's begin the second half. Let me get my little timer going here. Mike, his throat and lungs going to hold up?
Yep.
This is a good thing. Let's begin the second half between Lakeshore and Bridgman whenever you are ready.
All right, for 5 points, a math question. One store in town sells a radio for $20. Its rival is advertising the same radio on sale for only 1,999 pennies. How much will you save buying it on sale? Again, one store selling a radio for $20. Its rival advertising the same one for 1,999 pennies.
Lakeshore?
1 cent.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. For 5. For 10 points, what queen was famous for saying, "We are not amused"?
Anna, Lakeshore.
Elizabeth.
Incorrect.
Matt.
Also incorrect. Queen Victoria. For 20 points, who wrote The Heart of a Woman, A Song Flung Up to Heaven, and My Painted House?
Warren, Bridgman.
Emily Dickinson.
No, sir.
Lakeshore, take a shot at it. 5 seconds. Anna?
Sylvia Plath.
Nope. Maya Angelou. For 5 points. In 1886, the first dinner jacket was worn. It became popularly known by the name of the town in which it was first seen. What is the jacket called?
Warren, Bridgman.
Tuxedo.
Correct. For 5. For 5, if Freud were to analyze the case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, he would probably say that Mr. Hyde represented what structural part of Dr. Jekyll's psyche?
Warren, Bridgman.
Multiple personality.
No, sir.
Connor, Lakeshore.
Unconscious.
Nope. It is the id.
Oh, so close.
The id.
For 20 points. He played Othello many times in England and the U.S. He acted with distinction in the plays of O'Neill, especially Emperor Jones and All God's Children. He also did much to increase the popularity of black American folk music, which he sang to piano accompaniment in the style of Leader. Name this bass singer.
Matt, Bridgman.
Ray Charles.
No, sir.
Lakeshore, 5 seconds. That's time.
Paul Robeson is the answer we're looking for there. For 5 points, municipal, industrial, corporate, bail, surety, debenture, junk, and savings. These are all types of what financial investments?
Anna, Lakeshore.
Bonds.
Yes. For 5 points, the first four civilizations in the world all developed in what sort of landform?
Warren, Bridgman.
A valley.
Yes, river valleys. For 10 points, what does Anno Domini really mean? Literally mean?
Anna, Lakeshore.
In the year of our Lord.
Correct.
That was how many?
10. For 5 points, who tried to kill Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn?
Anna, or Lakeshore.
Huck Finn.
Nope.
Bridgman, Warren.
The antagonist of the book.
While correct, I can't give that to you. It's Injun Joe is the name of the character. All right. For 15, if bacteria Streptococcus lactis were introduced into some pure, fresh milk, what would the end result be called?
Alec, Lakeshore.
Curdled milk.
Nope.
Bridgman.
Good answer.
5 seconds. Matt.
Ammonia.
Cheese.
Oh, wow.
Oh! And my grandpa lives on a dairy farm.
For 10 points, of all the man-made elements, this one has been made in the greatest quantities. It can be made by bombarding uranium-235 with neutrons. What is it called?
Warren, Bridgman.
Plutonium.
Correct. For 10. For 20 points, what mighty contest rise from trivial things? Identify the poem by Alexander Pope, in which we read this line.
Warren, Bridgman.
The battle.
No, sir.
Lakeshore, 5 seconds. That's time.
The poem is called The Rape of the Lock.
Oh.
Yeah, right on the tip of your tongue. I know.
The rape of the law.
20 points for this one. 20 points. Regarded as the father of Western scientific history, he asserted that events do repeat themselves at some time, if not exactly the same, yet very similar. If not exactly the same, very similar. Name this early historian.
Alec, Lakeshore.
Stephen Hawking.
No.
Matt, Bridgman.
Aristotle.
Nope. I was hoping somebody would have this so I didn't have to try to pronounce Thucydides.
Where are you at?
Right there.
Sure.
Yeah, because my Greek is right there.
Thucydides.
Yep.
That's what
All right.
is.
We'll move to more recent things. 15 points. During 1916, T.E. Lawrence, better known as Lawrence of Arabia, led an expedition in the Middle East against the enemy of the Arabs. Whom did the British colonel attack?
Connor, Lakeshore.
The Ottomans.
Don't believe so. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's right.
Right.
Turks is the answer that's on the
that's
page,
what
so
I was
that's
Same
yeah.
thing.
That was how many?
5 points. Excuse me, 15 points.
All right.
I was already looking at the next one. Next one is 5 points here. In early American history, toll roads were given this name because they were barricaded by poles, which were lifted after the fee was paid. The name?
Alec, Lakeshore.
Turnpike.
Correct.
5.
5. For 10 points, at the end of a book, especially a reference book, you may find a section entitled Errata and Addenda. What do these words mean?
Warren, Bridgman.
Additions.
That's one.
That's
but,
one.
it's-
Waiting for the other half.
yeah.
Oh, additions and
That's it. Nothing?
references.
Connor, Lakeshore.
Additions and corrections.
Yes, sir. For 15, who was the son of Jupiter and Juno in Roman mythology?
Anna, Lakeshore.
Vulcan?
No.
Bridgman, Warren.
Hercules.
Nope. Mars. For 20 points, a math question. Give me the value of the cotangent of 30 degrees. Again, give me the value of the cotangent of 30 degrees.
Oh, that's terrible.
Warren, Bridgman.
Square root of 3.
Yes, sir.
For 20.
For 20. 5 points. Name the glandular reproductive organ that produces hormones and eggs.
Anna, Lakeshore. Is that you or me?
The ovaries.
Correct. That's for 5. For 15 points. Why do some objects explode when a tornado engulfs them?
Matt, Bridgman.
Because the force of the outside pressure sort of just makes them implode from the inside. All the air gets sucked out of the building.
Air pressure is greater in the object than in the funnel. That is correct. For 10 points for the next question.
That one was 15, right?
That was for 15, yep.
Okay, thank
10
you.
points for this one. Puerto Rico was granted what status by the U.S. in 1953?
Warren, Bridgman.
Commonwealth.
Correct. 10 points. After his public comments were criticized by President Roosevelt, he resigned his Air Corps Reserve Commission in April 1941. Who was he?
Alec, Lakeshore.
MacArthur.
No, sir.
Bridgman, Matt.
Was it Roosevelt? No.
Nope. Charles Lindbergh. 10 points. As a chemist, this person was key in making the nation a world leader in getting ozone-depleting CFCs banned. Name this leader, England's longest-serving prime minister in the 20th century.
Warren, Bridgman.
Churchill.
No, sir.
Lakeshore, Connor.
Margaret Thatcher.
Correct for 10 points. For 20, according to Faraday's law of electrolysis, mass equals the gram equivalent weight times the current multiplied by what?
Warren, Bridgman.
Amps.
Nope.
Lakeshore. Alec.
Resistance.
Nope. Time. 15 points. Name the region in Uganda where it was discovered in 1937. It was first detected in the U.S. in 1999. Name this illness.
Matt, Bridgman.
Ebola.
It is not Ebola.
No.
Lakeshore. Connor.
AIDS.
Nope. West Nile virus.
Next question, last question of the second half.
15 points. In 1984, who threw the pass against the University of Miami that led Boston College to the win on the last play of the game?
Zane, Lakeshore.
Oh, it's something fluty.
We'll take Flutie. Doug Flutie for 15 points.
All right, folks. That wraps up the second half of today's Academic Challenge match. We'll tabulate the scores and announce the winners after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know who Juno was.
Juno is Hera.
And then we got 20 points.
I knew it was either Mars or Apollo, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I think he's probably. I think he's
Gosh darn it.
the son of.
Another Queen Victoria question. I know, no kidding. That's the second Queen Victoria question. I'm like,
Thank you, Mike.
Victoria because that happened last
Appreciate
year.
that.
That's the second. I'm saying Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria. I almost said. I almost said.
Queen Victoria.
It's like
Who
a
normally does the
basketball
question?
question. The answer. If it's a basketball question, it's always
If
Mike
no one,
Victoria.
if
Last year.
I have a next time, if
Mike
there's no,
okay.
I'm saying Chuck for every answer.
He's been busy, and then
Alec did it for a while. And then
yeah, trying to give him some exposure, some experience.
yeah. Some of these questions like reading AP copy cold.
I just guessed on Margaret Thatcher. I was thinking.
Isn't Juno and Jupiter isn't that branch really large?
Yeah, it's
extremely large.
But
it's sketchy.
How can you get one person? There's numerous.
Well,
right?
he's the main.
Yeah, but there's.
All right, people, let's come back, wrap it up, and move on. Here we go. We are back on WSJM's Academic Challenge to announce today's winner and thank our sponsors. The winners, a great match here, a score of 210 to 180. Bridgman. How about a hand for the bees? Congratulations. And thank you all for joining us on WSJM's Academic Challenge, brought to you by Lakeshore Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, Waterville Public Schools, and by Chemical Bank. And we invite you to join us again after the Christmas break, when Bangor and New Buffalo go head-to-head on Academic Challenge. Thank you, folks. Much appreciated.